So as you guys seen in the description, today we're gonna be making this car into a cartoon. So I'm pretty sure you guys seen it on Instagram and on YouTube, wherever, how people are converting their paint job into looking like a cartoon or a drawing. And I thought it would be pretty cool to do this Mazda for a little while and see how it looks. So luckily for me, the kid that had this car before did a rattle can paint job, so it's not the best paint job ever, so I'm not afraid to mess with it. If you guys seen in that little time lapse, I prepped it with these tape marks where I'm actually gonna give it a little bit of depth with different colors of paint. So right here where I put this tape, I'm actually gonna spray here with white, so it gives it like the effect, like if you guys can see how the reflection of the light kind of gives it a white look. So that's basically the same concept I'm going for, but I'm just gonna do it in certain little spots where I feel like it's gonna give it a little bit of depth. If your car has a lot of lines, it's definitely gonna be an easier car. This car is bubbly, so now I gotta try to incorporate that bubble into it. Like if you guys can see in the hood, I'm still debating if I should do some white on that top hood right here where this hump is. So we'll see, we'll leave that to the end. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use two other colors. If you guys can see, the color of this duck is a little bit darker, so I'm gonna use a little bit of darker underneath just to give it a little bit more depth. That way it kind of looks like it's shaded down there. And then when I incorporate the lines, it's definitely gonna look like a cartoon or a drawing, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go around and hit all the white spots, and then I'll show you guys what I got. All right guys, so this is what I have so far. Kind of looks weird. I'm not going for perfection. I'm just trying to see what, you know, I can make out of this, and let's see how it turns out, just to, you know, go hit the streets with the little Miata looking like a cartoon. So now that I did white, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a depth in the bottom, so I'm gonna use the same color I used on the wing. I did spray the wing here a little bit, but I'm not too happy with how it looks, so I'm probably gonna respray that a little bit, and then it should be ready to start using the marker on there. Alright guys, so this is what I have so far, and I'm thinking this is pretty good. Like I said, this car is tough because it's so bubbly, so we're gonna see. I'm probably gonna cut down this a little bit because I don't like how it's too close to this. It's kind of the same on this side, so I'm gonna cut that out a little bit just to see if it cleans it out a little bit better. But other than that, it's looking pretty darn good. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a little bit more patches of that darker color on top just to give it a little bit more depth, and then I think it should be good. All right guys, so it's actually been a few days since I started this project, and the issue I had was that I was trying to mix my own paint into one of these stick markers. It has some marble and everything, because I was trying to put oil paint so it could last long, but it turned out it didn't work. So I had to get online and research what other people were using, and I ran into these Unipolska or whatever the heck they're called, some Chinese brand. I did this little test buy here and it seems to be working, so it's time to draw this thing out and see how it's gonna look once I put marker all around it and draw it all out. All right, so this is what I have so far. I started doing a little bit of the hood, the front right here. Honestly, I think it looks better when I make mistakes than when I actually try to keep it straight. So I think the key of this is just go for it, and you know, like I said, you know, like little imperfections like that actually give an artistic look. So I'll probably go around and making little lines like those all around. I mean, I intentionally made this one just to give the shape of the fender here, but all in all, it's looking pretty good. I'm really debating in making a race number here. That way it actually has like a race mode onto it, and I think it's gonna make it look a little bit better. But man, so far I like this. It's looking good. I think this thing's pretty good now. I actually like how it looks. I'm probably gonna add a few more lines just to give it a little bit more of depth. Other than that, it's looking real good. It's definitely something else. I'm definitely not a fan of all this white I did. So I am gonna come in and spray some red on it just to kind of fade it out a little bit more, because it's way too white. I'm not such a fan of it, because that's really what stands out. So this is all the lines I'm gonna do on this thing. I think it looks good enough. I probably should do a little bit on here, just so it doesn't look too plain, but we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna do that number, so I'm gonna get started on that. So I'm gonna paint a white square here, that way I can put the number 8, because that's the number I'm gonna put on here. It's definitely gonna be a little race car out in the street. All right, so I just got done doing the number 8 on the other side too. They're not perfect, but that's good enough for me. I mean, you're never gonna see both sides at the same time, so you can't tell that this one's a little bit thicker than the other one, but it looks good. I definitely have the OEM taillight, which I still got wet sand and polish, so I still haven't put them on there. But other than that, I mean, the car's looking pretty neat. It's definitely gonna be a tension grabber. People are definitely gonna want a street race now, because this thing definitely looks like a little race car now. What do you guys think? Does it look like a cartoon? Honestly, I think this thing looks badass. It definitely grabs everybody's attention on the road. And definitely for those of you asking the question, why didn't I clear coat? And the reason for that is that I'm definitely not gonna keep this forever. I just wanted to do it for now because the paint was rattle can on there and it wasn't done right. So, you know, I wasn't worried about it too much right now. So I'm definitely gonna get rid of this pretty soon and respray it just so it looks crisp. But yeah, I hope you guys like it, and let me know in the comments, does it look like a cartoon?